Happy Sunday to you all. I hope you guys really enjoyed the extra hour of sleep. If you didn't already, make sure that you turn your clocks back because we did go into daylight savings. I wish that we could have taken advantage of that extra hour of sleep, but the little ones for sure, no, their circadian rhythm was still on the old schedule, so we woke up an hour early today. And it's been a busy day, moved my little ones together into their own room, so we'll see how that goes this evening. So let's go ahead and get into the SPY analysis of the week. If anyone missed it last week, they had the trade ideas, they had the trade ideas test drive. It's still going for a couple days, but they usually do it once a quarter, so the next one will probably be in January, but definitely check out the free trading room. It's down below. The information to get there. So let's go ahead and look at the SPY. I told you guys before, right up here, I said, okay, hey, look, we're bouncing. If we break this level right here, the 289, we're probably going down. Sure enough, we did. Then we came down. Here's the 200-day moving average. We tested that. We broke it, bounced back up to this daily trend line here. That's actually on the weekly, I believe, that blue one right there. It's hard to see. So we've tested that downtrend right here. No, that's a new one I drew right here just this week, because this one is a daily trend line, right? A new daily trend line that it hasn't broken above. And we're staying below that. I did draw this purple one, which is the weekly trend line here. We do have the EMAs curling up, and it tested the 15 EMA on Thursday, went up here, and then it pulled back. I was speaking with my dad and I said, hey dad, I think if we hit this 275 level, I think we could pull back. Basically, we had all the FANG stocks report. What happened to all of them when they opened? They all dropped. To me, that is signifying that really, the big guys are starting to get out. If we go to NASDAQ.com, we'll leave that. We'll come right back to the charts. But we go here, we go to Facebook, right? Click on Facebook. If you guys want to see what the insiders are doing, that's going to be the Form 4s that you're going to really see. You can just go down here, SEC filings, and you can see. Okay, let's see what the SEC filings are saying. So we have the Form 4s, October 31st. Oh, even some new ones, right? So this was the 29th and the 31st. You just click on the form itself. All right, what happened? They're selling 155. What was the high of the day? Roughly 155. Now, when the big guys are starting to get out, that can say, hey, what's going on? Maybe they just happen to be taking out, let's look at Amazon for the SEC filings, right? So here we go, Amazon. All right, so Amazon had its earnings report. Look, we have Jeff Bezos on the 29th as well, selling, right? And he's not necessarily selling small positions. Look at these, right? He's selling pretty large positions, 2,000 shares of Amazon. Granted, he is the CEO. He did see a fair amount of his wealth diminish. So they might be saying, hey, go ahead and take some profits. So we have Facebook, Amazon, Apple. Let's see. I didn't check Apple yet to see if we had any selling. But I'm starting to see a trend. All of these big people are starting to sell. No, nothing since after the report. Okay, so that's good. On Netflix, I know we had selling on Netflix. So we'll check that out. We have Netflix insider selling and also on Google. Now, it could just be that they are taking profits as it comes. But look at this. November 1st, we had some profits of selling, and also on Google. If you go in to look at each single one, you'll see that majority of them are selling, and we've had Google, we had some selling as well. So to me, this is signifying, let's go back to Trading View here, that basically these big guys with all their advisors are probably saying, hey, go ahead and take some profits now because this could get worse before it gets better. If we look at Amazon's chart, right, we see Amazon, the high of the year, 2050, and it went all the way down to 1480. That's over 20% drop. That's definitely in the bearish territory. As they like to say, 10% is a nice correction, but then when you get down to 20% or 13% below for the market, that's going to be a bearish market, right? So we've got the high here of 293. Now we're down at the close of 271. So we're down 10% roughly off of the year right here. So I think that this week is really going to determine whether we go into a bearish market or we're going to go into a recovery. And everyone's saying, oh, well, you know, it has to do with the Chinese trade talks and everything like that, which you can see on the 15-minute chart. Right here is where Trump said, oh, hey, we're going to go ahead and we're going to find a solution and where everything's going to be good, and it bounced up. And then right after that, or it was right before that, one of the two, they rejected his plea to throw out a court case against him. So right now, I'd say really it's going to depend on the market, what the big guys are doing. When you have insider selling, to me, that's leery. Like here we had, this was pre-Facebook, or excuse me, pre-Apple earnings. Then we had, and this was pre-Apple earnings, they reported after the close, it tanked, then the market tanked on Friday. Something that I would see, if it was getting to be, you know, more of a bullish trend, I would think that this volume would be going up. However, we see the volume drops here, big time increase in volume, it comes down, increase, then it slows down, and then again, decrease here, and the volume picks up a little bit. But look, this volume is not higher than back here. To me, I would think that if we are going to go ahead and have that correction, we would see higher volume buying here than back here. So to me, we've got lower volume. Again, it's, look at that big sell-off. You would think it would be higher than the increase day on Thursday. So to me, looking at the volume and the candles and the general downward trend, I think, you know, we would have to break this trend line. We'd have to close above the 274 area on Monday, or pretty much for the week, for me to feel confident that we are getting into a reversal in the market. Overall, I'm definitely still feeling bearish. You can see the Russell 2000 did close up. We'll go ahead and look at the chart. So the Russell 2000 on the daily chart, it closed up. It tested that 15 EMA. We've got a cross of the 4 and the 8. But again, you know, this volume is not super high. I would think that if people are starting to get in, that really that volume would be stepping in too to really go ahead and propel it up. It's still pretty low right now. We look at NASDAQ, right? We'll click on it there. So NASDAQ, we have a bit more buying back here. You know, same amount as back on the 11th pretty much. So that looks like it could be coming, but really as it's going up, the volume is dropping. So to me, that's signifying potentially a shift in momentum is coming. So we'll see what this week has to hold for us, but I'm still feeling bearish on the market overall. Let's go ahead and get into the longs for the week. So we have Acacia here. This is our daily chart. They had earnings that surprised, and they are a lower float stock with 28.5 million and 22.8% short float volume. I would say support of 43.71, resistance of 44.91, and on the 15-minute chart you can see basically it just sort of uptrended all day, and this one does have a nice ability to go ahead and have big moves because of that lower float. And you know, it tanked back here, and now we're going up, and we're pretty much breaking out almost on the year. So watch for that one to really break the 44.91, 45.30 level for continuation move. Next we have JT. Now JT was in a downward trend pretty much for recently, like the market has been. However, popped up, broke the 200-day moving average. I would say support of 585, resistance of 605. It does have 120 million in the float and 9.1% short float volume on Friday. This is a Chinese stock, so watch as the Chinese stocks with Trump's announcements do tend to surge, the whole sector. Going into ESPR, if you guys had this, look, I had it on my watch list last week as a potential long. If it broke out from 42, and look at that, it's now up, went all the way up to 56.81. So nice 14-point move there from last week. I do have it on the long list as well, as long as it can pretty much hold this 200-day moving average. It is in a gap fill territory right here up to, I'd say, 64. So it could have a nice 8-point move before it pulls back. They could potentially test the 58.59 level as well. So support 53.14. resistance at 56.81. They do have 24.25 million in the float and 67% short float volume on Friday. Next after that, we have Cyou. And this one has been downward trend. Look, it's broken the 50-day moving average. We have the 200-day moving average up at 2012. Support of 14.16, resistance of 14.78. It does have 16 million in the float and 46.9% short float volume on Friday. If we check it out, you know, pretty much it had an upward surge, pulled back to the averages at the VWAP right here, and then it continued on up into a nice upward close to the end of the day. So this one could have a squeeze into open. It might have a bit of a pullback for continued move up to that 200-day moving average. I would really, you know, if you wanted to go into it as a longer term swing, use the 1350 area as potential exit for longer term swing if you wanted to get into that one. EXTR. So again, downward movement like the market. And then we had earnings that it reported on Friday. It ran up into earnings, broke the 50-day moving average. It does have that 200-day moving average about $2 away. So keep this one on watch. It does have 108 million in the float. 32.5% short float volume on Friday, 612 for support, 677 if you want to do a longer term swing, you know, with that 560 as a potential stop to the downside to get out. As always, guys, I forgot to mention, please trade at your own risk. I did have my Series 7 prior, but it is no longer current. So these are all my opinions. So please do your due diligence and, you know, trade respectively, as no results are guaranteed. And getting into the shorts, we have Aapl. Aapl, if it breaks this 205.94 level, looks like it's got a nice downward move down to 200. And then if 200 breaks, boom, we're going to go down a nice 10 points from where it closed on Friday, maybe even touch that 200-day moving average. You know, some of the big buys are potentially getting out. Did have massive volume. Last time we had this massive volume here, it looked like it went into a bit of a reversal. But as you can see, like I was talking about on the indexes, that when we have the massive volume, we start to see a reversal many times. So keep that on watch. Same thing right here, massive volume. The next day it gapped up. So to me, the indexes are not saying with the volume that it's going to rebound, more that it's going to continue down. Okay, but back into Aapl. So Aapl had a massive drop down, then it surged up here, and then it pulled back down into a almost low of day close for the stock. So keep it on watch. I think if it breaks the 207.47 level, it could potentially test up here at 213. Above 213, I would really say bullish, but that's a 6-point move to the upside of potential churn. If it does break the 205.94 level, I think there's more to the downside with 4.5 billion in the float. We also have AXL. So AXL dropped down on the day. They had earnings as well. I would look for 1230 as resistance, and I would look for 1135 as support. On the year, you can see, oh, let's see, click auto here, that it just had a massive drop down. We're hitting new 52-week lows for the week. They do have 104 million in the float, so keep that one on watch. ADMS. So we've got Adamas Pharmaceuticals hitting new 52-week lows. If we go back and we look at it on the 5-year, new 5-year low, pretty much all-time lows for the stock. So this one definitely has some moves down to the downside potentially. So keep that one on watch. 1189 for support, which is pretty much the close of the day. 1170 is the new all-time low for the stock, so watch that to break for sure, and 1319 to the upside. Then we have Remax as well. So let's pull it back to a 1-year chart here. You can see it's pretty much been downward trending, breaking out 52-week lows. We have had a lot of 52-week lows, so it seems like the market in general is more short biased because we do have so many stocks hitting new 52-week lows. I think this one could potentially drop all the way down to 30.20. So if it does break 34.85, look for that to continue on down, and 36.60 as resistance. I don't know why I don't have the lines on the chart, but I do have it here. 16 million in the float, so keep that one on watch. And then Shake Shack, we've got this one here. So Shake Shack, old numbers, I don't know why that's there, but let's see, let's put this here. Let's put an adjustment on that. We want 46 46.67. I absolutely love this software. It's awesome. You can change things really easily. And for resistance, 48.34. So you can see we do have a prior resistance level that looks like it could be setting up as support. If that does break down, I think we could go down further down here to the 42.83 level. We did break the 50-day moving average, so keep that one on watch. On the 15-minute chart, that's on the weekly, excuse me. On the 15-minute chart, you know, it looks like if we break the really here of 46.46, that I would move that down actually just a bit more, 46.46, 46.50 area, that we do have potential 10-point move down to the downside for the low of the year to go on down here. So keep it on watch, guys. I do have two potential longs for long swings of ADVM. So ADVM, massive run up, came down, going into earnings, and it had a big pop up. So it dropped and popped. Opened at around, let's see, I don't know what the open was. Let's look at it. Opened at 290 and it closed up 40 cents. It is in a gap fill mode, could run up to potentially $4. So you might have a nice 70-cent move there. It does have earnings coming up. So I would keep that on watch because it's gone from basically the 15 EMA down to a new low and then popped. So it could have some movement to it in the upcoming week. And then type as well. So type has been curling up above the moving averages, does have the 50-day moving average at 1960 up there. So it could have a nice dollar move to the upside. You know, I would put a 75-cent stop down here. You know, maybe try to enter closer down at 1830 with an 18 or 17.90 stop, 40 cents to the downside. That would give you a nice $1.60 to the upside, you know, a nice 1-to-4 ratio for potential gains on the stock. It did have earnings on Friday, so it could continue in that upward trajectory right on up to that 50-day moving average. As always, guys, if you like my content, please like and subscribe. And I am doing a weekly vlog, so if there's anything you want to know, you know, pretty much about my personal life, a little bit more about me, go ahead and shoot it on over. I know someone asked me about my diet, which for sure, happy to cover that. If there's anything else, let me know. Have a great week ahead, guys.